Hey, I'm Siobhan, community cultivator and founder of BEFREE Project. The BEFREE Project podcast was created for community, sisterhood, and personal growth. Each week, you'll be inspired and motivated to do the work to show up for yourself so you too can feel fulfilled and be free. Now grab a pen and a notebook and let's get into the show. The best decision that you can make today is joining the BEFREE Inner Circle at BEFREEInnerCircle.com, a community for like-minded women to find their forever friends and get accountability to do their personal growth work. Your membership includes a private, exclusive community of women who are not only showing up for themselves, but for one another. Weekly live events with me and or guest speakers, daily accountability so this way you can finally get stuff done, mentorship from yours truly, and so much more. Now, there's no long-term commitment and you can cancel at any time. However, I can guarantee the moment you join, you're going to feel a warm embrace and you're going to want to stick around. Every single member of the BEFREE Inner Circle will walk away with clarity, fulfillment, and confidence because guess what? When you're around me, you're going to win. So come and grow inside the BEFREE Inner Circle at BEFREEInnerCircle.com. Hey, welcome back to the BEFREE Project podcast, and also happiest new year to you. Happy 2022, y'all. All right, so I am back, and let's kick it off with what I am loving this week. And I don't believe I've shared this on the podcast before, but I really love burning sage. And I believe I burn sage almost every single day, and I even burn it in my car as well. And if you're not familiar, sage is really good to clear any negative energy. And then I also love burning Palo Santo as well because Palo Santo brings in like the positive energy. So that is what I'm loving this week. All right, y'all. So I have taken a much needed break. If you are a longtime listener of the BEFREE Project podcast, then you know that I put out episodes every single week. And if you're new to the space, then you probably are like, where has she been? I don't see any new episodes. Every year, I like to take a break and just give myself time to reset and to recharge. So I take a break from recording podcast episodes. I take a break from sending out newsletters. And I also take a break from social media. And so my break started, I believe, the beginning of November. And I am just now getting back into the swing of things. And I will say I had an amazing time off to just really do my inner work, to do a lot of reflecting. I also had a girls' trip early December where I went to visit my great friend in Chicago with two of my other friends, and that was an amazing time. And then I just really been, again, in reflection mode. I did get sick for a bit over the holiday break, but I'm back to great health, and so that feels really good. And I'm excited to be back here on the podcast. Like, I've missed sharing my insight and my thoughts and like teaching, like, and all of the things. I truly miss doing this work. So I'm really excited to be back and bringing you guys episodes every single week about what I'm learning and my own personal growth journey and sharing tips and resources and things that will support you on your own journey as well. So that is where I have been for the last 2 months now. And I thank you for still being subscribed and all the things. And so let's get into it. Every year, I set a tone for my year, and I do that by choosing a word and also choosing how I want to feel. So if you remember from last year, and if you haven't listened to that episode, you can go back and check it out. But my word for 2021 was abundance. And the feeling that I wanted to have was I wanted to be more generous. And so when I set that word for 2021, I had one thing in mind, and as I've been reflecting over the last couple of months, some other things came up for me. So when I chose the word abundance for 2021, my mindset was all around financial abundance. Like, I really wanted to bring in more financial resources. And what I've learned at the end of this year, again, during my reflection time, is that yes, I chose that word, but the meaning is so much different for me now. And that meaning is my life is already abundant and it always has been. And so when I think about abundance, I think about the friendships that I have. I think about financial resources. I think about other relationships. I think about every single thing that's around me. I live a very abundant life. And I didn't see that before. But because I chose that word for 2021 and everything that unfolded for me, I'm like, I get it now. And I remember one of my friends years ago, she said to me, she said, Siobhan, there's so much favor on your life. Like everything is just, it always goes good for you. And there's so much favor on your life. And I didn't know what she meant at the time, but now wrapping up 2021, what she was really saying is your life is so abundant. And as I think about the trajectory of my life, I've always lived in abundance. And so it has been beautiful to see how what I thought the word was going to mean for 2021 and what it actually meant, and the insight and reflection, or excuse me, not the reflection, but the insight that I got is that my life is abundant. It always will be. And I don't have to just limit my thinking to one way of, abundance must mean financial success, if you will. So that was how abundance played out for me. As it relates to the feeling, I definitely was way more generous this year. Generous with my time, generous with my resources. I tipped more. Like every time I went out somewhere, every time I did something, I tipped way more than I normally tip. Just a lot of different ways that I was just being more generous. And that felt really good for me. And it's something that I'm going to continue on with. Okay. So now on to my word for 2022 and my feeling. So let me tell you a story first. I was on a walk, and y'all know I walk all the time. It's a part of my 3 to be free. And I was thinking, okay, what is my word going to be for 2022? And I have been pondering and thinking for some time, and nothing was coming to me, right? And so one day on my walk, I'm looking up different words on my phone, and I'm like, like this year is going to be my year of evolution, or my year of change, or metamorphosis, all of these things. And then I looked up the word transformation because it was a synonym for one of those words. And when I looked up the definition for transformation, it said a process of changing. And then it gave an example of a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. Now, if y'all know me, y'all know I love butterflies. I have many tattoos on my body with butterflies. And so when I read that, I said, the process of changing. That is what this year will be for me. And so I immediately felt connected in my spirit with that word. And I'm like, that is it. Transformation is my word for 2022. And getting that example of a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, of course, that really resonated with me. And so I said, this year will be my year of processing change. And there's going to be many aspects of changing in my life that I'm already aware of. And I am going to embrace every single moment of it. I'm going to embrace the transformation and the change that's going to come from being outside of my comfort zone. And then I'm going to embrace the change of everything that I'm going to be delighted with and whatever else comes up. And even now, my mind is already thinking through, okay, this is a change that's happening in your life. All right, how do we process this? What does this look like? Like I am embodying transformation and allowing myself to know that this is not about to be an easy breezy change. I will be uncomfortable at times. I will be delighted. I will be full of joy. All of that is going to happen. I'm going to feel all of my emotions and all of the things, and I'm taking it all in. All right. So I'll be talking about my word for 2022 throughout the year and how transformation is showing up in my life. And I will say, when I settled on transformation being my word for 2022, my friend has sent me a tattoo design because she knows that I, am working on my sleeve. And the tattoo that she sent me before I even told her my word for 2022 was right in alignment with my word. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is it. All right. So I have a tattoo appointment coming up next week, actually. and I'll be adding on to my sleeve, and I'll be getting a new tattoo that is going to embody the word transformation. And if you're not, you should follow me on Instagram because I'll definitely share pictures of it there. And then I'll also share it inside the Be Free Inner Circle as well. And so I'm really excited about that because when she sent me the tattoo picture and then I had already decided on my word, I just felt intuitively that everything was coming together exactly the way that I wanted it. And that word that I chose, transformation, again, it was perfect for me. And so much so that I was on the phone with my therapist and I was telling her my word for the year. And she said, "Are you familiar with the butterfly life cycle?" And I was like, "No, not really." And so I did my own research, and the butterfly life cycle, so it starts with the egg, and then the second part of the process is the larva, which is also the caterpillar. Then the third part is the pupa, which is also the chrysalis. And then you have the adult butterfly. And so as I was researching and reading a lot about like the process that the butterfly goes through, I said, "Oh, I am in the chrysalis phase." And in that part of the life cycle, all the gook is in there. That is where the transformation is actually happening within the chrysalis. And after that process, you become an adult butterfly, a beautiful butterfly, right? And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's all connected. Like, this is perfect for me." And so reading that about the life cycle of a butterfly, choosing my word, having insight on my new tattoo, all of that, that's the story behind my word for 2022. And I don't just choose words just because, like, I really have to feel it. I have to feel connected to it. Like, it has to, like, just be in my spirit. And so my feeling for 2022 is I want to feel aligned. And I want to feel aligned both in my professional work as well as my personal life. And so I'll be sharing a lot about what I'm doing to make sure that I'm embodying the feeling of alignment. So hopefully that was helpful and insightful for you. And if you haven't done so yet, I highly, highly, highly encourage you to choose your word for 2022 and also choose how do you want to feel. Inside the Be Free Inner Circle, this weekend, we had a vision board party. And we set the tone. It was a 4-hour workshop that we had. And we set the tone with, I had every member go around and share what was her word for 2022 and how does she want to feel. And so many of the women chose their feeling as they wanted to feel free and they wanted to feel confident and they wanted to feel fancy. I mean, I just loved hearing everything that they wanted to feel. And then also choosing the word. So as they were creating their vision boards, they knew that, okay, if my word for 2022, for example, Miss Denise said her word was soar. So everything that I'm choosing for my vision board needs to be in alignment with what my word is and what I want to feel. So it was an amazing session. I recorded it, so there is a replay. So even when you become a new member, you'll be able to catch that and get some insight. I taught a whole workshop around goal setting and creating your vision, which was absolutely amazing. And that leads me to, now is the perfect time to join the waitlist for the Be Free Inner Circle. I will be opening the doors really soon, so be on the lookout for that. And you can find the link to join the waitlist inside of the show notes. This is the perfect time to surround yourself with a community of positive, like-minded women who are going to be doing the inner work right along with you. Do not let 2022 look like 2021. This year, choose community, choose friendships, choose relationships, choose a space where you can have a cheerleader like myself in your corner to do your inner work. Also to have community, to get the support in real time, whether you're asking a question, sharing something from your heart, and you can get feedback so you're not on this journey doing it by yourself. And then most importantly, you get the accountability to do your work so you're not stopping and starting over and over again and not getting anything done. So head over to BeFreeInnerCircle.com, join the waitlist. You'll also find the link to do that inside of the show notes as well. Okay, so your journal prompt for this week is, what's your word for 2022? And how do you want to feel this year? Now I want to shout out my coffee giver of the week. And this week I am shouting out Keisha Lockridge. And she says, Keep doing what you're doing. You are awesome. Thank you, Keisha. You're awesome as well. If you too want to treat me to a cup of coffee because you've been inspired by my work, you're motivated, you're like, man, let me just support her and show my appreciation and gratitude for the work that she's doing, you can treat me to a cup of coffee or 2 or 3 or 4, however many you want, by clicking the link in the show notes. So that is it for today. I am so happy again to be back with you. If this episode was inspiring to you, share it with a friend and say, hey girl, hey, listen to this and then let's talk about it afterwards. You can also share the podcast episode on Instagram, tag me at Siobhan Sudbury or BEFREE Project. Both of those links are in the show notes. And I would love to hear from you. So make sure you let me know how it's going for you so far this year. And until next time, girl, be free. And now I want to personally invite you to join the BEFREE Inner Circle waitlist. That's right, the doors are currently closed. However, I want you to head over to BeFreeInnerCircle.com, add your name and email address to the list, and when the doors open, you will be the first to know. This will be your last chance to become a member this year. So again, go to BeFreeInnerCircle.com so you don't miss out.